Guys, welcome back to the Off-Grid Garage here in sunny, hot Australia. Beautiful. Batteries are already full. So in today's video we want to have a look at the Seplos BMS. We want to have a look at the JK BMS, which sits in a Seplos battery. So let's have a look how this actually... What is that for a noise? Is there a plane landing? What the hell is that? From QSO, delivered by Cathay Pacific. That was to Andy. Oh, that's me. Oh wow, it says box number 2 out of 4. What? Where are the other 3? Okay, we have found 2 boxes. We need 2. There's one hanging in the tree. Okay, we found 3. 1 more to go. It's in the dam. Damn it! It is slowly sinking. Heavy. We got it. We found all 4 parcels from QSO, delivered by Cathay Pacific directly to my doorstep. Alright, I have now unpacked all 4 packages here with the batteries, and this is how they look like. Wow, I must say, this is outstanding quality again from QSO. Beautiful, brand new cells. You can see this hexagon shaped terminal. So this is generation 3 of the EVE batteries. They come with welded studs. The aluminium welding looks amazing. No scratches, no dents. Fingerprints only from me. Beautiful cells. Obviously they come with the usual sticker here, 3.2 volt lithium iron phosphate. 306 ampere hours we have in the MB30 battery. 3.26 volts and 0.21 milliohms internal resistance. While these batteries here on the right are the EVE MB31, and they come with a capacity of 314 ampere hours. And I think this brand new MB series from EVE now is replacing the older LF series. Yeah, the LF280K and also the LF304. So all the cells, they're coming now with 2 epoxy sheets in the right size, and also the usual tinned copper bus bar and 2 flange nuts. And I have here the older LF280K battery. I'm going to compare this to the MB31. Same length, same width, same height. 280 ampere hours, 314 ampere hours. Okay, let's have a look at the weight. This is the LF280K, 5.3 kilograms. And this is the new MB31, 5.5. Slightly heavier. But I think for our applications, the dimensions are more important. Obviously, they have coiled up more material inside these batteries now. And also the goop, the electrolyte, is obviously different. Here you want to have a look. Do a bit of belly test. Oh my god. This is so straight. I've never seen such a high quality cell. This is A+++ grade. Look at this. This is straight as. 100% straight, there's no belly at all. So I wonder if these cells were actually cycled before at all. That is insane. There's no light coming through. Wow. Well, what can I say, guys? It's another high quality delivery from our friends at QSO here. These batteries are outstanding. So, and that's why I have decided to compress these cells here. I have used some plywood here and 4 of these clamps here to apply exactly 300 kilograms of force. I have connected the CKE tester already, the big Chinese cracker, the EBC A40L, link is down below. Best tester on the market so far. And I have also pre-charged this cell to 3.45 volts. And you can see here, nice charge curve all the way up to 3.45 volts. Current is tapering off to 5 amps and then the tester stopped charging. So this battery should now be charged to 99.8% or something. I will of course increase the voltage now to 3.65 volts. And we have 306 ampere hours times 0.05 C makes 15.3 amps, then the battery is full. So we have a cutoff of 15.3 amps. Okay, let's start. And while we are waiting for this battery here to fully charge now, let's have a look at the specifications of the MB30 and 31. Okay, we have now here the product specifications of the EVE model MB30 and also 31 here. So we will jump back and forward between these two documents. I linked them all down below. I don't want to go through all the specifications here, just the important ones. So here we go. So this is a 306 ampere hour battery, 979.2 watt hours, so almost 1 kilowatt hour. And here with the MB31, 314 ampere hours, over 1 kilowatt hour per cell, over 1 kilowatt hour. Wow, that is amazing. Obviously 3.2 volts, 3.65 maximum charge voltage. And here the end of discharge voltage is very interesting. It says 2.5 volts as we know it if the temperature is over 0 degrees Celsius. If we are under 0 degrees Celsius, we can actually discharge this battery to 2 volts per cell. Is that new? I think so. And this is exactly the same for the MB30 as well. So standard charging 0.5 P. Internal resistance 0.18 milliohms measured with 1 kilohertz signal. Okay, for everyone interested, I'm quickly measuring the internal resistance of the MB31 cells. First cell 0.2 milliohms. Second cell, 0.2 milliohms. Third cell, 0.2 milliohms. And cell number 4, 0.2 milliohms. Suppliers and manufacturers always say the batteries are voltage and capacity matched, but it doesn't really tell you anything about these batteries. This is a snapshot of the time of measurement. Yeah, if one of the batteries would heat up now, or I fully charge it and leave the other ones as they are, we will have a different resistance. As time passes and the cells are aging, internal resistance will change as well. So it is really just a snapshot of the time of measurement, nothing else. I have stopped completely measuring these cells when I get them new. Dimensions. The thickness is specified with 300 kilogram of force. Charging temperature 0 to 60 degrees Celsius. Discharge -30 to 60 degrees Celsius. Wow. That is a huge temperature range. We can use these batteries here. Self-discharge 3.5% per month in the first month, and then afterwards 3% maximum per month. Cycle life at 25 degrees, 10,000 cycles for the MB30 and 8,000 cycles for the MB31 with a higher capacity. But watch out here, they are specifying their cycle life with a state of health of 70% after these 8,000 cycles. Let me pull up a specification sheet of the LF280K, because I'm pretty sure this has changed. Yes, here we can see it. So, specifications of the EVE LF280K. Yeah, and here we get a cycle life of over 6,000 cycles, but with a state of health left at the end of these cycles of 80%. While now they specify the cycle life at 70% state of health. So this seems to be a bit of a marketing trick now, because they're using the battery for longer until it has only 70% of the capacity left. Therefore, they get more cycles out of it. So don't get fooled by pure numbers. 6,000, 8,000, 10,000 cycles. Look at the specifications, how they have tested, how they have cycled these batteries, and what is the remaining state of health at the end of this cycle life. So someone in the comments down there can do the maths now and calculate the cycles for an 80% state of health for these new MB30 and 31 batteries. And I think we are not far off then to the 6,000 cycles what they have specified for the LF280K. So a bit of a marketing thing here. Watch out. We have now a swelling force at 70% state of health of smaller than 50 kilonewton. And at 60% state of health of smaller than 60 kilonewton. I don't think I've seen these parameters before. So the standard charging mode is now specified with charge to 3.65 volts with a constant power of 489.6 watts. They don't specify the current anymore, they specify a power. So they're actually using 0.5C for their standard charging method. They just specify it as a constant power now. That means because the voltage is rising during charging, the current will get smaller during this process. And now we also have an absolute charging voltage specified. It is maximum 3.8 volts. No matter what charging mode the cell is in, once the cell voltage exceeds the absolute charging voltage, stop charging. Okay, so they're giving us a bit of margin now between 3.65 volts as the maximum charge voltage to 3.8 volt, which is the absolute maximum charging voltage. So I'm not 100% sure how healthy this is to go to 3.8 volts. So don't leave any comments. I'm not going to test this. We're getting a table for a continuous charging mode now. Temperature and maximum charge power. So the colder the battery, the less power it can take, the smaller your charge current should be. At 10 degrees Celsius, we can only use 0.3 C. That is very interesting for cold winter days when your battery is ice cold. I mean ice cold with 10 degrees. And you are charging full speed into your battery. 0.3 is the maximum. At 5 degrees battery temperature, you can only charge it with 36.7 amps maximum. Look at this. And we also have an absolute discharge voltage of minimum 1.8 volt per cell now. No matter what kind of discharge mode the cell is on, once the cell voltage is less than the absolute discharge voltage, stop discharging. 1.8 volts. Wow, that is insane. Alright, we also have a continuous discharge rate table here, which tells us up to negative 20 degrees Celsius we can still discharge this battery with 0.5 C. This is all 0.5 C, and at negative 30, 0. So that's absolute stop. That is freezing cold. Well, if your battery is as cold as this, well, you should come to sunny hot Australia. And then here comes all the safety performance parameters, overcharging, over discharging, no fire, no explosions. All this stuff. Product end life management. The cell life is limited. Customers should establish an effective tracing system to monitor and record the internal resistance and capacity of each cell during its life. When the internal resistance of the cell in use exceeds 150% of the initial internal resistance, or the capacity is less than 60% of the nominal capacity, the cell should not be used anymore. Violation of this requirement will exempt EVE from its responsibilities. Okay, 60% is the absolute minimum remaining capacity, and then you should stop using it. Cell internal resistance, I have never heard about this requirement before. I wonder who is doing that and checking the internal resistance of all their cells from time to time. Customers shall configure a battery management and monitoring system to strictly monitor, manage and protect each cell. Some people still leave comments under my video saying we don't need any BMS, we can drive any battery without BMS. And apparently they have done it for 20 years or something. But here it points out specifically you need to have a BMS for your cells. And here it also says it is forbidden to mix different types of cells in the same battery system, otherwise EVE will not be responsible for the quality assurance of your Frankenstein battery. And here it gives you actually an example of how to program your BMS. So it says at 3.65 volts, stop charging. At 3.7 volts, there's a BMS alarm coming. At 3.75 volts, reduce cell charging current or power. It goes even further. There's a first level of alarm at 3.8 volt, cut off the current, force the cell to stop working and lock the BMS until the technician solves the problem. So again, so obviously something is wrong, because it clearly says here, stop charging at 3.65 volts. Yeah, everything else is a buffer, but I would highly recommend to set your BMS to an over voltage protection of 3.65 volts. Never ever charge your battery higher than 3.65 volts. Discharging as well, you can see the discharge ends at 2.5 volts. Then there's a third, second and first alarm you can set in your BMS then. Upper limit charging capacity. Charging capacity is smaller than 345.8 ampere hours. The charging capacity shall be less than 113% of the nominal capacity. That is interesting. So obviously we are getting more capacity out of these cells than specified. So I'm really keen to see the result of the discharge test of this 306 ampere hour battery. Cell swelling force. There is so much information and we are only halfway through this document. Okay, so I'm really thinking of what has actually changed to the LF280K in terms of operating these cells now. They are a lot more precise what they actually specify in this product sheet here, explaining a lot more parameters in all details now. Pretty much what we were speculating about for many years. This is now all clarified here and explained in this product specification. Diagram of the clamp. Oh wow. So 3 rods, 2 plates. There you go. You got the perfect instructions now how to clamp these batteries. And there's a ton of information in these spreadsheets here. Look at this. You can read for hours and hours and hours and get your head around. Wow, that is a lot. As I said, I will link both of these documents down below. They are on my website as well under the product. I had a look on the QSO Alibaba website, which I would highly recommend to order from. Prices are around 65 US dollars for these MB30 cells, and I think around $70 for the MB31 with 314 ampere hours. Okay, so far this glimpse into the specification of these cells here, amazing. Okay, we have now fully charged this battery to 3.65 volts, cut off 15.3 amps, and we now want to do a full discharge test. Okay, the camera has just turned off, the battery is empty here, so this will take 7.5 hours, a bit more. So I'll see you again after the sun has set, and then we have a look at the discharge curve of the brand new EVE MB30 cell. You have a wonderful day, see you after a short pfft. Okay my friends, it is now 6:30 in the PM. We have discharged this battery for 7 hours and 46 minutes. We are at 3.14 volts around, still discharging with 40 amps. And we have just, we have just passed the 311.4 ampere hour mark. So I would say there is another probably 10, 12, 15% even in this battery available at this point of time. So it may take another hour or so until we are fully discharged down to 2.5 volts. See, the curve is pretty flat still. It is just dipping down a tiny bit now, but it's not like we are going into the steep area now. We are far away from that. So let's keep discharging and I'll be back when it becomes interesting. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. 2.56 volts. Still discharging 40 amps. You can see the typical discharge curve of lithium iron phosphate battery with a steep drop off at around 3.13 volts. There we go. We have just finalized the discharge test of the EVE MB30. Is it MB30? Yeah, it is MB30. 8 hours and 20 minutes with 40 amps. So you can do your maths now. I don't need to tell you the result. All right, let's have a look. So we have discharged this battery with 1078.25 watt hours. That is amazing. And this cell has a rated capacity of 306 ampere hours. And we have discharged this battery with 333.3 ampere hours. What? Wow, that is crazy. Look at this result. We never had such good batteries. Oh, haven't got the lights on. Okay, that's better. Must be the best batteries we've ever tested here in the Off-Grid Garage. That is insane. Over 330 ampere hours. Wow. Okay guys, we are now going to fully charge this battery again, have a quick look at the charge curve as well, and then we finalize this video with a verdict about the MB30. Well, I guess this will take another 8.5, 9 hours to fully charge this battery with 40 amps all the way up to 3.65 volts. So I have now put a title on this curve here, I have saved the actual graphic as well as all the data, and I have changed the settings now to constant voltage charging, 40 amps, all the way up to 3.65 volts with 0.05 C cutoff, which is 15.3 amps. Without further ado, let's get started. And good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the Off-Grid Garage here. It is a wonderful, sunny, beautiful morning. So let's have a look at the charge curve here of this lithium iron phosphate battery. 306 ampere hour, the MB30 brand new cell from EVE. And we can see here the typical charge curve, so nothing has really changed with this new chemistry inside this battery. The charge curve looks pretty much the same as before. Steep incline in voltage at the beginning until we hit the 3.22 volts. Another small rise here in voltage until we hit 3.333. This cell has a lot of threes for some reason. And then we stay constant pretty much until we hit like 95% of the state of charge, 3.45. We have charged already 326 ampere hours into this battery then. So this is when I stop charging at 3.45 and then I absorb, and the battery will then be 99.5% full anyway. So we have charged this battery with 1.105 kilowatt hours. We need to measure this in kilowatt hours now for one cell only, which is a 332 ampere hours charged into this battery of capacity. So you can see discharge capacity and charge capacity is very similar with lithium iron phosphate. The charging efficiency is very, very high. Not much losses. You almost get the same energy out again which you put in. And the difference here is only due to measurement errors of the device, of the Chinese cracker, and also temperatures. We have discharged the cell during day and then charged it again during the night, which was much colder. So there's always a bit of difference when you measure these numbers. And it gives us a good idea what's going on. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say about these cells here, but they are freaking amazing. I mean, 306 ampere hours and we get over 330 ampere hours out of it. We're getting 10% extra. And as impressed I am with the cells and quality of these battery cells, which have been sent by QSO here, I'm also very impressed by the upgraded documentation delivered by the manufacturer of these beautiful cells, EVE, or EVE, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this 39-page document now is insane. There is so much detail in there about compression, about force, swelling force, charging, discharging voltages. Far more details than we have seen before with the LF280K cell. So they're really going into a lot more details now how to operate these battery cells. What to do, what not to do, what margins you have above 3.65 volts and also under 2.5 volts. So this is all very specific now. So now, I will leave links to both of these batteries, the MB30 and the MB31. This links back to the QSO Alibaba website. Alibaba would be the only place I would recommend to buy these batteries from. Do not buy such big batteries here from AliExpress. There are far too many scammers on this platform. Buy directly from Alibaba, from the supplier or from the manufacturer EVE directly. All the links are on my website. There are the links to reliable suppliers we have used in the past. Of course, I will also link the results of our charge and discharge curve here on my website as always. You can download the EB Tester software for free, download the curves and study them. And of course, I link the two specification sheets from EVE for the MB30 and MB31 under the video as well. 39 pages of reading. It's half Chinese, so it's not that much. But it's very interesting what kind of details they are providing now. So all this information coming directly from EVE leaves us with far less speculation than before. And guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your amazing support here on the channel, for everything you are doing, liking, leaving comments. Some people even buy me a beer from time to time. So all this is very much appreciated. Thank you very much for all your support. So don't be shy, leave a nice comment down below and let me know what you think about these new batteries. I'm absolutely impressed. I don't know what to say, really. That's amazing. And of course also thank you very much to the QSO team who made this delivery possible here. I think I'm one of the first on YouTube now to test these MB30, MP31 cells. So thank you very much for sending them over so quickly, and also thanks to Cathay Pacific for, well, dropping them off here locally. That was a great service. Now you would ask, Andy, you haven't tested the MB31 battery yet. We want to see how much capacity we can squeeze out of these 314 Ah battery. Well, I will do this in a follow-up video, in a quick, short follow-up video. Just present the results then from the charge and discharge curve. Talk very briefly about the results. There will be a short video. Trust me, I'm very good with short videos, so stay tuned for that. Until then, guys, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye-bye. Yeah, this compression here is actually here for a reason. I probably show you this in the next video when we test the MB31. Not sure if this test is successful, but we will see.